College is expensive. Ask anyone who's even considered either going themselves or sending their child. Of course, it does seem that nearly everything is expensive nowadays, but college tuition rates seem to rise completely on their own. So, what are the reasons for rising college tuition costs? From around the time of 7th grade until a child is due to graduate from high school, they are always told that college is one of the most important things they'll do. And really, the people saying that aren't lying. The average person with only a high school diploma makes just short of $30,000 per year. The average person with a bachelor's degree, $50,000. The numbers just keep going up. There's a direct correlation between the level of education a person has and the amount of money they make per year. So maybe that's why tuition rates have skyrocketed. Because with a college degree, a person can make on average $1 million more in their lifetime than a high school graduate. But paying for college is easier said than done. Since 1985, the overall consumer price index has risen 115%, while the price of college education has risen nearly 500%. In a book by Gordon Wadsworth, he demonstrates this by saying that if someone in 1986 were to go to college for $10,000, and inflation rates were the same across the board, then that would mean that the cost of that education today would roughly be $22,000. What does that $10,000 of education actually cost today? $60,000. So where does this money go? I went down to a local coffee shop, which is normally full of college students, most of them up to their eyeballs in debt, to ask a few questions. I made a handout with a survey on it to give to some of them, and I kept the survey anonymous so as to keep the answers more true to how they actually feel. My main question that I asked was, what do you believe to be the reason for rising college tuition costs? Some answers that I got included the cost of construction and renovation, the effects of overall inflation in the world, and the rise in payment of labor. Turns out, the last one is right. Most construction and renovations done to a campus are paid for by donations or simply put on credit, and we've already seen that it isn't really inflation of the economy that does any damage. It's the rising cost of labor. Most people said that they understood this, and it's only natural for people to want to be paid more if they have to teach more students and therefore do more work. Some others are a bit more disgruntled about the rising costs. One said, I have some professors who become my favorite people to be around because they can connect with us and we can actually learn from them. But I have others who you can tell just want to be done but aren't old enough to retire. Those are the professors that should get paid less or be fired. Over the past 3 decades, the average family income has increased by 147%, while the average college cost has gone up about 7% per year. That's 210% total. The main reason for this is due to the need to pay more professors and to pay them at a higher rate. So the solution is simple. Start firing people. But it's not really that simple. Now there are more people going to school, so in order to keep class sizes low enough for at least a little student-teacher communication, there needs to be more professors. Also to blame is the policy of tenure. In short, the tenure policy guarantees employment for life regardless of productivity or effectiveness of teaching, which can obviously become a problem. Just like the student said in the survey, there are some professors who don't necessarily care anymore and are just ready to retire. Universities cannot fire these people though because they have been there for so long and are guaranteed a job somewhere on campus. So, where does it end? Well, nowhere really. Inflation is never really going to end, and we're getting to the point in America where if things become any more expensive, the value of a dollar will essentially become nothing. The only solution is for people to demand accountability of colleges so that a future generation will have a hope of even being able to access higher education. Universities need to start actively reviewing professors and notice how students feel about them. If students feel like they aren't getting what they are paying for, then something needs to be changed. At the end of the day, though, it is extremely important to go to college. The only problem is figuring out how you'll pay for it.